In this video, we will practice using the formulas to calculate the volume of cylinders, cones, and spheres. So we'll start with the one that we already know, the volume of a cylinder. So far, we've been talking about the volume of the cylinder as the area of the base times the height. Now we know the area of the base for all cylinders is a circle. So that means that the area of the base is pi times r squared, because the area of a circle is pi times r squared. And so then we take that and multiply it by h for the height. We have one formula for volume of a cylinder where all you have to do is put in a value for r and a value for h. So this is the formula that should be in your notes as volume of a cylinder. Next, let's practice it. Pause this video and use the formula to calculate the volume of the cylinder. So the first thing you should do is to write down the formula that you're going to use and identify your variables. So in this case, radius is 6 and height is 18. Then you put in the values that you're using into the formula and calculate. So volume equals pi times 6 squared times 18. All this work should be on your paper. So the volume is approximately 2,035.8 inches cubed. Next, we'll do the volume of a cone. Make sure you've clearly labeled this as volume of a cone. So our formula here is going to be the area of the base times the height divided by 3. So the area of the base is pi times r squared, and then times the height, and then all of that divided by 3. All right, once you have this formula down and properly labeled, we'll go ahead and try it with an example. Okay, so use the formula to find the volume of this cone. So always start by writing down the formula. Then you need to decide the radius. So it might be tempting to say 15, but this line goes all the way across. So the radius would just be 7.5 centimeters, and the height is 16 centimeters. When we do that, we get that the volume is approximately, rounded to the 10th, 942.5 centimeters cubed. If you didn't get that right, check through my work and see if you can figure out where your numbers went wrong. Okay, now let's do volume of a sphere. So this is the hardest one to remember. The volume of a sphere is 4/3 times pi r cubed, or pi times r cubed. So there's only one variable you have to worry about, but the formula itself is a little bit messier. Once you have that written down, we'll do an example. Okay, so see if you can figure out how to use that formula given a sphere with a radius of 12. Continue watching once you think you've got it. So we start by writing down our formula and what our variable equals. So make sure you've cubed the radius, giving you 1,728, because you did 12 times 12 times 12. All right, now when you get to the point where you have to deal with the 4/3, you have a choice. You can either do 4 divided by 3 on your calculator, and then do that answer, which should be 1.333333333 times the 5,428.67. Just make sure you keep as many 3's as you can so that your answer is reasonably accurate. Or what I prefer to do is to multiply by the 4 first and then divide by the 3 after. Either way, you should get, rounded to the 10th, 7,238.2 centimeters cubed. Okay, so here's our problem set. Find the volume for each one. Make sure to show all your steps. Even though I expect you'll be doing this on a calculator, you need to write down what those calculations are.